In June of 1948, President Harry Truman signed the National Heart Act, creating the federally funded National Heart Institute, bringing prominent attention to heart disease. A year and a half later, on a chilly New York Monday, Dr. Franz Greudel led a meeting of 14 physicians keenly interested in cardiovascular medicine. The founders had a vision, the seeds of an organization now approaching 35,000 members. An organization focused on the practicing cardiologist caring for millions of patients. An organization profoundly advancing cardiovascular medicine around the world. The American College of Cardiology.
The American College of Cardiology was founded in 1949. Now, late in 1960, Dr. Sam Bellet was invited to come to Puerto Rico. And he told me he had spoken to Dr. Philip Reichert, who was the executive director then of the ACC, and suggested the name of Dr. Suarez as governor. Dr. Suarez was the governor until 1965. And then Dr. Garcia Palmieri was the governor from 66 to 69. And then I was the governor until 1972.
On the early days of the American College of Cardiology in Puerto Rico, and particularly the people that were the leaders at that particular time, and of course one of them, who is one of the persons I most admire, Dr. Eli Ramirez, Dr. Carlos Beltran, who was also a close friend. He was one of the early governors of the college, and a good friend, and again interested in the cardiac business. Jose Manuel Torres, another giant of Puerto Rican medicine, and notice that I say medicine because Torres was more than a cardiologist. He was a great physician and a philosopher, and an extremely good orator. Well, of course, Dr. Garcia Palmieri, who was my boss for many, many years, my chairman and friend.
So sometime in 1973, I received a call from the governor's mansion from Fortaleza that the governor of Puerto Rico had received some distinctive certificates of recognition for several physicians from Puerto Rico, and that he wanted to hand them to us.
And somebody gave the information to the head of the College of Cardiology at the national level that the governor was Governor Luis Muñoz Marin.
And I firmly believe that we are the only fellows of the American College of Cardiology whose certificates have been awarded by the governor of the state.
Meeting in 1987 in which the concept of the creation of colleges, of chapters of the College of Cardiology was approved.
And he came with the idea of let's create a chapter in Puerto Rico. This was Juan Aranda, who was the motor behind it. He came with the idea.
I became governor-elect in 1988, and immediately I believed that the concept was here to stay.
The chapter was founded in 1989, as we all know, and I must point out again that Dr. Juan Aranda was the, let's say, the primary force.
The paperwork was submitted, the application was approved. I think we were the third or fourth chapter within the American College of Cardiology.
We did not have an office, and we had to have our meetings in wherever place we were able to meet.
Las reuniones eran como nómadas en diferentes restaurantes, hoteles. Cuando entró el doctor Lugo, pues hicimos las gestiones para comprar una oficina.
So we decided the best thing we could do was buy an office.
The benefit was enormous. The contact and the communication with the College of Cardiology improved considerably. the organization became stronger. We were able to carry excellent programs on a yearly basis, and that helped considerably.
Since the beginning, the college has conducted at least one scientific meeting a year.
This was really a joint activity of these three different entities. The section on cardiology of the Puerto Rico Heart Association, of the Puerto Rico Medical Association, the Sociedad Puertorriqueña de Cardiología, and the members of the college. They were the same people.
We have had top-notch cardiologists, internationally known and recognized, most of them from the States, coming over to present us the latest advances in the field of cardiology. Christian Barnard from South Africa conducted the first heart transplantation in the world.
Dr. Barnard had done his cardiac transplantation perhaps 2 or 3 weeks before, and we all thought this was a crazy idea. So I had the task, and I have a copy of the letter here that I wrote to Dr. Barnard, writing to him and inviting him to come to Puerto Rico.
We were able to do one convention that has never been made in any place in mainland on any other chapter. We were able to gather 10 of the greatest masters of all times in only one place. It was in Puerto Rico Convention. From an equation point of view, we had more achievements. We had the achievement of the Hero Award in 2008, and we're considered by some of them, but specifically by Dr. William Sockby, the crown jewel of the ACC. That's our pride.
We were able to increase the participation of the FITs in our chapter. We invited our FITs to be part of our monthly meetings, but we also put a lot of emphasis in improving and increasing the participation of our CCAs, which we feel that are also a backbone in the education of our patients and the quality of care that we provide to our patients. We were able to work also and to develop the first electrophysiology symposium that was directed by Dr. Juan Carlos Sotomonte.
With the leadership of Dr. Juan Carlos Sotomonte, we developed the EP Symposium, now entering its 3rd year. As a chapter, we want to move this concept of the focused educational experience forward. Right now, Dr. Rivera del Rio is working hard on the concept of an ECHO course to be held later this year. And we can envision entering other areas of focused educational experiences such as heart failure and interventional cardiology.
We were able to make another approach to a different section in education. We went to the people.
The community activities increased in magnitude up to a point that when Dr. Ivan Jadot was president of a community activity which was held at one of the Hilton hotels, it registered over 900 patients.
I think it was one of the first chapters in the nation that started to work with the community symposium. What we developed with the community education as governor is that we try to move from San Juan to other parts of the island.
Another of the important community events that we were able to participate with the Puerto Rico Society of Cardiology was Cardi Day. We were able to be present with 12 to 15,000 Puerto Ricans in one day, full of different exposition. We were able to help them with blood pressure determination, blood sugar determination, information about cholesterol. Since then, Dr. Luis Rodriguez Pires has carried on the ACC representation in Cardi Day, trying to continue our help to other people.
So we understood that human relations was very important in the healing process of the person. So we decided to look for persons as physicians or other type of persons, educators, teachers, politicians, that did that in their communities or their countries.
The concept of Distinguished Citizen Award, evolved and became established in 1999. It was given to somebody whose influence among physicians and among non-physicians was so great that it should be remembered. So we invited Dr. Michael DeBakey because of his contribution. He came to Puerto Rico. The award was first given to him. Probably the most important activity up to that time was to invite Dr. Nelson Mandela to come to Puerto Rico to talk to us about his ideas, his ideals, his activities, his motivation toward children.
So we decided that this was very important for the chapter to emphasize the humanistic aspect of medicine.
Yo soy un enamorado de las guías de cardiología y entonces yo dije, por lo menos yo voy a tratar de que los cardiólogos y médicos internistas reconozcan las guías como unos instrumentos vigorosos de una evidencia científica y clínica irrebatible, ¿verdad?
We must remember that many cardiac patients are taken care of by primary physicians or by internists, not by cardiologists. So it's important for them to know the guidelines.
Pues hicieron las famosas guías, que son unas jornadas de cardiología que ustedes ven aquí, donde se presentaban enfermedad coronaria, fallos cardíacos, lo que se está viendo. Y lo importante es que las actividades se hacían en San Juan y se transmitían a Ponce, Mayagüez y Arecibo.
We had achievement in quality. We started in our Door to Balloon Alliance at the beginning.
The Prince Project was led by Dr. Miguel Campos and Dr. Fernando Lapetina and Orlando Rodriguez Vilar and other interventional cardiologists in the island.
So in 2010, the Prince Working Group came together as a group of interventional cardiologists who wanted to improve the quality of care in STEMI patients in Puerto Rico. And thanks to the leadership of Dr. Rodriguez Ospina, we were able to attract the leadership of the Prince Working Group to work under the umbrella of our local chapter.
Regarding advocacy, we have been participating yearly at the legislative meetings in Washington, D.C.
Advocacy has been an increasingly important part of what the chapter does. Every year the governor goes to the legislative meeting where we have the opportunity to meet with our representative at Capitol Hill. This is an opportunity to bring forward important issues that are affecting our cardiovascular healthcare delivery in Puerto Rico.
It is very important that we work together with all the cardiovascular societies in Puerto Rico.
And working together, our local chapter of the American College of Cardiology with sister societies like the Sociedad Puertorriqueña de Cardiología and Cardio Co-op, we have been able to make a lot of progress.
There's one thing that we should not forget, and it's the backstage heroes that we have, but also our personnel, which sacrifice themselves during all that time.
To me, the most important thing of the concept of chapters is that it has provided many members of the community, many cardiologists of the community, an avenue, an opportunity to participate.
I really want to encourage the members to get involved with the Puerto Rico chapter because it is a learning experience. I look at it as a way to improve professionally and personally. During the next 25 years, the Puerto Rico chapter of the American College of Cardiology should get more involved with advocacy and quality of care.
Participation in the NCR is one of the key goals that we should pursue over the next few years.
We have to set up a program of teaching people to work as a team.
Teamwork is not a person.
The time of the individual physician taking care of the individual patient is going to disappear very soon. Now it's a team.
They have to see us. The true model of the physician. As physicians, we are not only doing operations, angioplasty, putting in pacemakers. We should also be aware of the humane part of the person. We should tutor the young.
We have to develop leaders.
Over the next 25 years, many things will evolve, many things will change. But we have to remember that the most important part are the patients.
So that we take center of the patient for the benefit of the patient. When you go there, see, you are on the right track.
Well, the best advice I can give is to remember that the patient is the center of our efforts. The patient. It's been a very good time indeed. I'm very happy to have participated.
Contribution of the college to the maintenance of a high level of education of our local cardiologists and our physicians in Puerto Rico.
We're going to head for 125 years. I don't know whether that's good or not.
The future is amazing.